Are financial objections stopping you from closing deals? Imagine losing out on massive opportunities just because of price. In this video, I'll reveal 3 powerful steps to turn financial concerns into yeses before your competitors snap your clients away. Stick around if you're ready to stop leaving money on the table and start closing deals like a pro. First, let's talk about the difference between a concern and an objection. This is very, very important. A concern is a hesitation or a question that a client has which may or may not be fully formed or directly stated. To handle a concern, or the best way to do so, is to address and clarify by providing information that the client may simply need to reassure them on the details of your offer. On the other hand, an objection is a specific, clear barrier that the client directly voices and feels strongly about that potentially may block the deal from moving forward. So to handle an objection, we need to first acknowledge, clarify, and isolate the objection for us to be able to handle it and provide the value and make them see through their concerns or the objection that they actually gave us. So in short, a concern is like a soft worry that can be resolved through conversation, while an objection is a direct barrier that must be specifically overcome to close the deal. Now that we know the difference between a concern and an objection, let's go and handle it. So you came to the end of the call, you've pitched the prospect, and you dropped the price, $5,000, for example. And then the prospect hits you with, I'm not really sure. It seems like a lot of money. At that point, he hasn't really gave me an objection. He just stated that he's not sure it's a lot of money. At that point, I'm clear that that's a concern, and he's just voicing his concern loudly, which a lot of people do. So at that point, as an experienced sales rep, I can actually move forward with the sale by simply brushing past it. And you'll be surprised on how many deals that you will close by just brushing past it and going in and asking for the sale again. Because most people just think out loud and they just say things. And the biggest mistake that a lot of sales reps make is to start going into defense mode and try to handle an objection that they could easily would have brushed past if they asked for a sale one more time. So you're probably wondering at the moment, what should I say if I get hit with that? Especially when they say to me that they're not sure, it seems like a lot of money. Now that I know that it's a concern, I'm gonna brush past it and simply say, got it, totally understand. Now, is there anything else before we move forward with the investment? That statement can eliminate 15, 20 minutes of trying to handle an objection and close a deal that you can easily would have brushed past and just asked for the sale. You're gonna be surprised on how many deals that you will close by just having this statement when you get that concern. But let's say that you went for the ask, but you still got an objection where they say, yeah, but I can't afford it still. It seems like a lot of money. I'm not sure if I can invest that amount right now. That's where you can go in and start handling the financial objection. And my favorite way to handle a financial objection is by breaking it into 3 different parts. Acknowledging their objection, isolating the objection, and then handling it. And how I do that is by saying, yeah, I totally understand, Mr. Prospect. I appreciate you being open and honest with me on that. So I can stay organized on my end. Is there anything else besides the investment that's keeping you less than 100% sure that this is exactly what you want to do? And naturally, if you pitch properly and they really like your service, they'll say, no, I really love everything. It's just a matter of an investment. That's where you can go in and ask them, why do you feel like this is exactly what you're looking for? Do you like about it so much? When we ask that, it shifts their thinking from a cost-based thinking to a results-based thinking. That's where the prospect is selling themselves back to us instead of us pushing for the sale. So once they start selling themselves back to me on why they like the program, why pillar number 1 or pillar number 2 is amazing for them and it appeals so much and it solves their pain points, that's where I can move on to the next stage where I can go in and isolate and handle the objection. So now that the prospect is selling themselves back to me in terms of vocally stating the things that he really likes about the program, this puts me in a great position because now I've isolated the challenge. I know it's just finances. So that means the only thing that's left is really figuring out a plan to help him out with his financial situation. Of course, only if we can do so. That's where I can go to the next stage, where it's handling that objection. So what I would say next is, okay, thank you, Mr. Prospect. I really appreciate you being open and honest with me in terms of that. Now, since it is your goal to do this, Are you open to having an open and honest conversation about where you're currently at financially? And possibly, I'll see if there's something that we can do to help you out. Does that sound fair? Now, what we're doing is we're letting the prospect open up and ask in a smooth manner about where they're currently at financially and making him realize that possibly we may be able to figure out a solution based on where he's at financially. So once a prospect agrees and he says, yes, sure, I'm open to having an open and honest conversation, I'm going to try to find out where is he currently at savings wise, maybe credit, maybe he has crypto investments, maybe he can be resourceful with going back to his family. There's so many different aspects. But mainly, I'm going to ask him, all right, Mr. Prospect, I mean, in terms of savings, checkings, where you're currently at. Now, let's say the prospect has only $2,000 to invest and the price point is $4,000. At that point, I'm not going to go right in and just give him a payment plan. I want to make sure to make him feel like I'm actually thinking and making a no-brainer for him to join. So what I would do in that case is like, okay, so you have $2,000 and just to make sure this is your goal to do this, right? Yeah, it is. Okay, got it. So in that case, what I can do, since it is your goal to do this, is I can split the investment into two. $2,000 today. That way we can onboard you, start you with the whole process, add you to all the group chats and all the courses, and allow you to start making your first dollars online in the next couple of days. And then we can take care of the rest of the investment 30 days later. Now, if that's something that I'm willing to do for you today, would you be opposed to move forward? See what I've done here, guys, with my language. I'm slowing down my pace, and I'm also using neutral language. I'm making sure that he understands everything and making him realize that this is a no-brainer for him if he gets started today with $2,000. And I'm painting the picture of what happens after he pays that $2,000. Okay, so we can get started with half today, so $2,000. That way we can get you in, get you up and running, get you watching the courses, add you to the mentorship program, and get you making your first couple of dollars online. That way you have some capital for the next payment when it comes out. And listen, if at any point that we need to split the investment into more, especially after 30 days, no worries at all. So to break down why I did this there is I use my tonality and I use neutral language to make the prospect realize that this is a no-brainer. So when I went and told them, hey, okay, in that case, then since it is your goal to do this, let's take care of $2,000 today. That way we can get you in, get you onboarded, get you added to the courses group. I'm painting the whole picture for him as soon as he gets in. So that way he's already imagining and picturing working with us. This puts the prospect in a good frame of mindset to be able to move forward with the investment because he's already imagining and picturing working with us. Now, usually if the prospect is sold on a process and they really like what you do and the investment is the only thing that's holding them back, they will move forward with that investment. But also sometimes the prospect will still be uncomfortable with that investment. So what you can do is literally use that same tactic and open wallet check them again, as I like to call it. And you can further break down the investment depending on your capability on the offer that you're in or whatever business that you're in currently, where if you can break it down into 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how the prospect feels. But sometimes the prospect will just try to negotiate and try to break it further. Sometimes you got to just stand your ground and say, hey, Mr. Prospect, I already broke it down into three installments. That's the furthest that we can do. Is there anything else keeping you less than 100% sure that this is exactly what you want to do? If no, let's get started. Let's get rock and rolling. There you have it, guys. A quick and a simple method to handle any financial objection. Again, guys, acknowledge, isolate your objection, and handle it. This is a simple way that you can use every single time to even handle any objection that you may come across. So guys, if you got any value from today's video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking to further invest in your skill sets, learn how to handle objections on a deeper level, and have us mentor you and place you inside 5- and 6-figure roles, then make sure to click the link down below in the description to book a call and see if you qualify to become a student of our mentorship program. So with that being said, peace.